Thank you very much, gentlemen. Feel-good win there for Team Liquid. Tough loss for Team Impulse. But some very interesting stuff happened in this game on individual levels as well as on the team level. So really, let's work our way through this game, break it down. And it all kind of started with that early outplay by Darduck, sidestepping the Varus Q, getting that first kill. But the way the game played out from there, you could very much feel the momentum shifts with everything that happened.
It was very much Seraph versus the world at the beginning of this game. And in the beginning of the game, Seraph was winning versus the world. he was actually carrying them really, really hard.
Yeah.
You know, starting off with that teleport play.
Primary play. Let's get that up on the screen. We have that, and we'll kind of let Kobe walk us through this replay here. Seraph kind of blowing open the game 14.
Yeah, I wanted to bring this up one more time because I mean, some people are going to give Lorlo flack for not teleporting, but look at this ward that Seraph teleports on is out of vision of Team Liquid. And Team Liquid, right now, they feel so safe because they're crushing this 2 versus 2, so they don't have their shot caller call for the teleport from Lorlo. You know, they didn't see the teleport from Seraph. Maybe you can criticize them and say, oh, you don't have vision of Seraph. There, you have to expect, you always assume that the worst scenario is happening, and so teleport in just in case. But, you know, without the knowledge that Seraph is teleporting in, they're crushing that 2 versus 2. They were going to get the kill themselves. Yeah. And so that's why probably they didn't call for the teleport there. Yeah. Now, further, though, I want to double down on this Team Liquid strategy because they've used it twice already. They go mega poke team comps. I really have always loved long-range, full long-range teams, no matter what game you use it on, because it takes a lot of skill, and it's all about focusing fire. You have all these high-powered range champions that can burst someone down if you are all on the same page, and it takes a lot of communication to pull off one of these comps. I feel like these are super strong in League right now because Frost Queen's claim allows you to set them up so easily, and Team Liquid have gone 2 Frost Queen claims in their last 2 games. Nice. Phoenix on Lux over and over, and Matt on also a pick support. Yeah. This time, Bard was banned, so he had to use Morgana, and it wasn't quite as good. But still, the same strategy that they're using holds, and it's a very successful strategy.
Right, all the Lux burst, Lucian killing, all that fun stuff. And I know we've been talking about the rookies in the beginning of the day. I want to talk about Phoenix a little bit as a player, because I think he's been the same player and the same caliber player all year long, just the rest of Team Liquid does better and worse. He is a team-fighting mid laner, right? He's very consistent. He will always play roughly to the same level of skill, but if all you do is team fight and your team's too far behind, those team fights don't matter. If they're ahead, he gets scorelines like this where he's like 3-0-9. And he will put out the damage, he lands his skill shots, but he's not the one to make the individual plays himself. He's going to keep playing poke mages and team fighters like the old Azir, like this Lux, and like these types of champions, like the Victor, and that's what we're going to keep seeing him do.
Yeah, that's an interesting point to bring up because, you know, previously we've seen him have vastly more success on a single champion like Azir that he had mastered, and now he's playing a lot of Lux, and I'm curious to see, will he have the same success on the basically
like
Xerath if he tries to do something like that?
Yeah, I think ultimately like he's mastering a play style in terms of like the general like role of the champion, kind of like what CLG does with their champion selects as well. Like Zion is always going to split push and duel you, and that means Fiora and Jack and stuff. And Phoenix is always going to team fight, and he will do it very well. He's very consistent at that, but it means that Teal have to make sure that that's going to work.
And this is where I want to kind of dive deeper into. We spoke earlier today about upward trends of certain teams. Team Liquid making Team Liquid making a kind of a resurgence here. I mean, we're still very early into the season, but with these 2 new additions, Dardoch and Matt, even within the game, Jap pointed it out, Matt making a misplay in one fight, but rebounding very quickly, right? The decisiveness of their calls. And that's, I think, what I've been most impressed by in these newcomers is their ability to stay away from tilt.
Yeah, I'd have to say Lorlo as well. There were some things that could cause you to tilt as a top laner.
When Elise keeps coming back to the lane and Arise comes back with double buffs, I'm tilted off the earth.
Trying to, if you try and go for the maximum value out of your gray health and you mess it up and you don't get any value out of your gray health, then that's always unfortunate. Or if you're Tom Kench, he's not really an initiation champion. I mean, that's the kind of the one weakness for the champion, you know, overall, holistically. He's not really the go-to. He doesn't have crowd control.
He's not Malphite.
He can teleport in and then try and soak damage and keep the other team around by being a punching bag. But if you get CC'd and you don't pop your great health, they were able to rebound from those mistakes. So I think that's a good point that you're bringing up. Overcoming adversity in a game and still come out with a win.
But I mean, it's really interesting just seeing how consistent that the two veterans on Team Liquid are. Piglet, to my knowledge, is like second place in kills coming into the day, and that was on
just
a 2 and 3 team. Right, I mean significantly behind Wild Turtle because the guy has a million of them, but like Piglet is getting a ton of the kills despite, and like every single game his scoreline's like, well, I'm like 3-0-2 because we're not doing very well, but he's always staying alive. He's always getting damage out.
And Piglet has played Lucian, Caitlyn, Lucian.
Yeah.
So there's a theme here, like I'm saying, long-range ultimates to follow up for any sort of picks here. He can either culling you or he can ace in the hole. And like you said, his positioning has been so consistent. He's really been strong for the team.
Yep, Team Liquid looking to be on a hot streak off the backs of the additions of the newcomers Dardoch and Matt. Coming up, we'll see if Energy can show they're a contender for a playoff spot or if TSM will continue their rise in the standings. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I looked down and I saw Victor on
You
the
saw
seat,
Victor.
and I was like,
You're like, he's playing Victor. It's like, no, he's not.
They're gonna zoom in on you right after the feature's over. They always do that when they do a feature on a player.
Do it. Everybody look at Dardoch.
Oh, are you NA next superstar?
Peekaboo, the rotation from Pyrian, maybe on time. Dardoch dashes back. Was it just enough HP to save him? Prior to go! Whoa! Oh, he gets taken down!
I'm looking backline.
Lucian no flash.
Okay, 그브.
Grab no flash.
Just go more.
More first.
Florlo eats him up, but you know where that guy is going to go. So Phoenix has to flash. He had that from last fight, but he doesn't have the cleanse. Everybody has big turnaround. Mash way too close. That is a mistake. That ruins Sarah's combination. That ruins Impulse's fight. And now they keep going. And it's going to be Liquid taking out Impulse.